What is up, everyone? This is What's Up, Riv, with the 4th episode of the Right from the River podcast. And yeah, sorry, it's a bit of a late day or a late release on this episode. I'm gonna be honest, man. It's just been one of those weeks. It's been one of those months. It's been one of those seasons. If I'm being completely real right now, man, summer has just been nonstop. Not trying to vent or use this as a therapy session or whatever, but my manager, him and his family had their second kid, which is awesome, man. L'chaim, all that good stuff. But he was out of work for a month, so a coworker and I essentially had to be interim managers for that period of time, and it was just a lot, man. It was a lot. It was a crash course on a lot of things and techniques that I wasn't familiar with in the shop yet. And so, yeah, my mind has just been cram-filled with all this information over the past, 2 months now, pretty much, and I'm fucking tired, man. I just rubbed my eye and forgot, god damn it. I ate some, sorry, let me trail off of that for a second, but I ate some spicy chicharrones earlier and just rubbed my eye. Forgot I did not wash my hand yet, so my eye's on fire. It's a great way to start the podcast. But yeah, to get back on the work stuff, it's just been crazy, a bit crazy, nonstop at work mostly. I think that's just the best way to describe it. It's just been nonstop. It's just one thing after another. But regardless, we're here. We're here right now. We're here today, and I'm glad that you guys are here today too. It's good to. I was gonna say it's good to see you. It's good to hear you, but I mean, you guys are listening to me, and there's nothing to see. But I'm glad you're here. Either way, we're vibing today. So before I get into any more incessant rambling, let's start today off with the beginning of the podcast bong rip. I think I've called that something different every single episode now, but we're gonna come up with a centralized name for that eventually, maybe. But let's see. Today we are smoking on. Got a fresh bowl of papaya punch. Super good strain. It's definitely an indica dominant strain. It's a cross between papaya and purple punch. Definitely, I really fucking love this strain. It's super flavorful. Has a nice sweet, flowery kind of flavor to it. But it gives me hella munchies. It gives me the worst munchies ever, if I'm being completely real. Don't get me wrong. It's always good to have an appetite when you're having a big meal. Maybe you're having a family get together, or it's a holiday dinner or whatever. But bro, if I'm just trying to smoke after work, I'm not trying to eat half of my cabinet out. It's like a double-edged sword. It's one of my favorite strains. But yeah, if you ever smoke some papaya punch, be prepared to eat. Get yourself some snacks, because it's gonna be insane. But yeah, man, let's go into this. Let's take a hit. Let's do it. Delicious. I need to clean my bong, so I didn't really get that tasty of a hit, but boo-hoo for me, I get to smoke weed, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, included in today's beginning of the podcast bong rip, we have another treat. It is, can you hear that? Sorry, I think I scratched the mic, or hit the mic, but yeah, that's right. Today, we have a Keef 100 milligram cannabis-infused energy beverage. It's the high-octane flavor. I'm pretty sure that it's supposed to be Mountain Dew or Monster energy drink flavor, but I'm curious to try it. I'm a big soda fan. I'm a fiend when it comes to soda. I used to smoke cigarettes fairly heavily when I was younger, between 16 and 19. So I only smoked cigarettes for 3 years, but I quit that habit relatively easily. But one of the things that I've always struggled with is fucking sugar and caffeine. Bruh, my morning coffee is just ridiculous. I don't even drink coffee because it's not potent enough. I drink those Mountain Dew Rise, and I've talked about that on a previous podcast, I'm sure. No, yeah, I did talk about that. just my addiction to energy drinks and how I ingest way too much damn caffeine, and I wonder why my ass can never sleep. I'm pretty sure every Mountain Dew Rise has like 180 milligrams of caffeine, I think, and I drink two of those a day. So that's 320 milligrams of caffeine that I'm drinking a day, my guy. And think about that. Those Bang energies and Rise energies, and even those like, what is it, those weird like gamer fuel ones that are like PewDiePie flavored and shit? It's gross. But those ones are 300 milligrams. And I'm ingesting 20 milligrams more than that a day. So I'm probably going to have to do something about that soon. That's not good, man. That's going to come back and bite me in the ass. But that day is not today because we're doing a taste test of the Keef Cola. So yeah, man, let's try it. I actually, sorry, I'm gonna ramble a bit more first before I review this, but I actually did try the root beer variety last night. Big fan of the Keef Cola so far. Like, to be completely honest, I tried it years and years ago when I was like 19 years old and I first got my medical card because I live in Colorado, so I was able to get my card. Got in a car accident with my mom and my little brother when I was 19. Thank goodness everybody involved in the accident in our vehicle and the other vehicle walked away. No severe injuries, but yeah, it fucked up my shoulder pretty bad. So I was able to get my medical marijuana card for that. And so yeah, I tried the Keef Cola back then. I got one that was like flat. It was like a juice or some shit. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best first impression for that brand because it honestly tasted like I was drinking medicated like snow cone syrup. Honestly, it tasted like weed flavored snow cone syrup and wasn't the best. But yeah, tried the root beer variety of the Keef soda yesterday and it was pretty damn good. Like, first initial reaction was it didn't even taste like there was weed in it. I had to take like a couple sips. I had to take like maybe 3 or 4 sips before I could actually start tasting like the hashy kind of flavor. But even then, it was still very faint and I kind of had to like really focus on it to try to taste the flavor. So yeah, I would absolutely recommend the root beer. I've only tried one of the flavors so far, but that one's pretty damn good. But flavor wise, I think they have the high octane, they have the root beer, but they also have grape, cherry cola, and orange soda. I'm not too sure how that cherry cola would be if I'm being completely honest, but I might have to cop the orange and the grape, give those a review too. Because, like I said, I'm a fiend for soda. I love me a good caffeine, sugar, water mixture. And if it gets me high at the same time, that's pretty dope, man. So, yeah. Okay. We're finally going to review this. We're going to try this now. What was that? Sorry about that. I heard one of my neighbors being wild out there. It made my cat stand up. So it got me a little spooked, I will be honest. Got my hair standing up a little bit. Because, like, you know how cats are. Like, you know how you'll just be sitting there with your cat just hanging out and he'll just look up at the corner of the wall? There's, like, nothing there. There's no pictures or anything hanging there. He just stares at the corner of the wall. When you finally get their attention back, they just give you that look like, eesh. It's like, what do you mean, eesh? Like, what the fuck are you looking at? What is it? Like, let me know, man. Don't just stare at shit in the home and just not tell me. But... sorry, we're finally gonna review this now. Fucking neighbors acting kooky and shit, making my cat freak me out. All right, high octane, 100 milligram Keef soda. Let's try this. It's got one of those fancy little like tamper-proof lids, which first impression of that is I'm a big fan because I always worry about that. I always have to wipe down my soda can lids, and COVID and all that shit that happened last year just made me buckle down on that like tenfold, even more. But so I really like these like tamper-proof lids that they have for these. And yeah, let me open it up. It's gonna be a little loud, so oh, okay, it's not that bad. And yeah, pop the back, slide the tab. I'm gonna smell it. It smells like, it smells like Mountain Dew. If I'm being honest, I was gonna try to like catch the notes of this or the sprig of that. It's like, no, it just smells like Mountain Dew. Maybe like a hint of weed smell in there. So that's a good thing though. It It smells exactly like it is. So, okay. That's not bad. Has that good Mountain Dew flavor. I will be honest with this one. I tasted the hashiness immediately. When I took the first sip, it literally just tasted like Mountain Dew mixed with hash. There was like no hiding that flavor. It's not bad. Like I've never really been one that's like too turned off by the flavor of hash in edibles, but just a forewarning, that high octane definitely has that hashy kind of flavor. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's still good though. I'm gonna keep drinking this because I fucks with it, but not too bad. Yeah, it's got that good. It literally. I want to try to come up with like a longer explanation for it, but it literally just tastes like they took a 2 liter of Mountain Dew and they put in a syringe or two full of just hash oil. So it works, gets the job done. I fuck with it. And yeah, I was gonna take a hit real quick, but since we are going through this podcast with edible in hand, I think I'm gonna like mellow out on the smoking. I think on the second episode of the podcast, I smoked just a little too much, and I wasn't really able to just speak. I wasn't really able to like come up with any topics or anything to continue on with. So we're just gonna take this step by step. I got my co-host Max the cat here with me. He doesn't really say much, but he's here for spiritual support and emotional support. So just know that Max is here. Isn't that right, Bubby? Yeah, he doesn't respond. Sometimes he will, but not now. But yeah. So we got the drink in, and oh my goodness, am I already starting to feel it? I'm like starting to lose the train of thought already. Train's going off the rails. But no, in regards to edibles, what's your guys' favorite edibles? Do you guys actually mess with edibles? Do they affect you? I know that edibles are so weird. Like I feel like for the most part, smoking weed affects everybody more or less in like a very similar way. But edibles is so hit or miss with people. It is the strangest fucking thing, if I'm being honest, because as many of you probably know, uh, edibles are broken down in a little bit different way in our body than like inhaling smoke and getting our THC through that. Because when we eat THC, our body breaks it down in the liver into, I think it's called like 11 hydroxy THC, hydroxy 11 THC or something like that. I have to look that up. But it changes it into a slightly different chemical, and that's how it affects us through there. That's why for some people, the effects of edibles is so much more intense, and that's why some people don't feel anything when they take edibles, which is just insane to me. I feel like, personally, I was lucky enough to hit that middle ground with the edibles. Like, I can get pretty fucked up off 100 milligrams, if I'm being honest. Like, 100 milligrams, like this Keef soda, the whole thing, if I slam it, I'm going to be good for the night. I probably don't need to smoke anymore. But I will smoke more because I'm a glutton, and that's how it works. I do too much goddamn weed, and then I end up hitting my alarm 3 times in the morning, too. That is definitely one thing I have noticed a lot with my edibles, though, is like I can handle my dosage fairly well, but I always get the meanest edible hangover the next day. And by hangover, I don't mean like, I don't get a headache. I'm not like sensitive to light or anything like that, but I'm just fucking tired. It just takes forever for me to get out of bed. It's almost a guarantee every time I'm going to hit my alarm and like sleep in for a couple more minutes just because the edible is still lingering in the morning. And it's sometimes fun, but I got to work tomorrow. So this is going to be interesting tomorrow. It's fine though. I knew what I was getting myself into because I I was slacking today. I felt like I was brain dead most of the day, so I didn't start recording the podcast until I think like 7:30 p.m. and it's 7:45 right now. Like I'm 15 minutes into the recording, so it's yeah. I forgot. See, I even forgot where I was going with that. Oh my goodness. See, that is not the way we do a podcast, River. Yeah. I just feel like I've been brain dead most of the day, and so me getting around to doing the podcast so late and drinking this edible product so late, I knew what I was getting myself into for tomorrow. I wanted to review this for the podcast anyway, so that's how we do, baby. And I'm grateful enough to work at a dispensary. So I'm not. Don't worry about where. It's just no. It's a medical dispensary in Colorado, in the whole state. I work all over the state, but I work at a dispensary, and I'm grateful enough that I get a little bit of an employee discount. So I get these products at like a discounted price. I can't get too crazy though, because I don't want to be one of those people that's just like a fiend for weed. You know, like that's one thing that has really opened my eyes as a bud tender is seeing that some people really get down on weed, dude. Like I thought I was kind of like crazy with it. I thought I smoked a little bit too much because I get like space cadet status sometimes, but dude, there are people that spend so much fucking money on marijuana, on cannabis. It's kind of sickening if I'm gonna be honest, because I work in a dispensary. We have like a very centralized software system that we use for tracking our customers and our product and so on and so on. And you can actually track customer, like just the grand total of all of their transactions. And so sometimes I'll be curious and look at people's transaction totals. And am I allowed to say that? I think I'm allowed to say that. I'm not like disclosing any names. It's not illegal. Like, yeah. Sorry, I had to double second guess myself there for a second because yeah, the Colorado med industry it's very, very regulated. That was kind of the trade-off with legalizing cannabis in our state is it had to be very, very regulated if we wanted it to be legal in the first place. But no, I'm not breaking any HIPAA rules, not releasing any people's info and stuff like that. And that's the important part, which makes sense, man. Like it's the medical cannabis industry. And I think that it's very respectable that we have to follow these HIPAA rules and regulations and things. It just legitimizes it even more, honestly. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, it's just wild seeing how much money some people will spend on weed. But I can't really blame them. If I'm being for real, or if I'm being real right now, I can't blame people for just smoking themselves silly sometimes. Because of the way this world has been going, I'm sure everybody hears it everywhere else too, like I don't really need to reiterate it, but I probably will in a later podcast because we need content. But this world is going to hell in a handbasket. And it sucks, man. Sometimes we need something like a little bit of a brain dead TV show or a fucking medicated soda to make us feel alive for a second. And I think that's okay. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, as long as you aren't taking from others and shit like that, then do you. Even if you're not, like, as long as you're not hurting yourself either. I feel like when people use that disclaimer to talk about things, they don't ever really say that. They always say, as long as you're not hurting anyone. And I think it needs to be reiterated that includes you. As long as you're not doing shit that hurts yourself either, then, party on. Party on. And that's from the heart, man. Let me take another drink of this Keef Cola real quick. Ooh, wee. Delicious, lemony hash flavor. I mean, it's really not that bad if I'm being completely real. And let's see. See, that's another thing too is like I got my med card first when I was 19 years old, and I've essentially had it since then. Except last year during the Corona season, I let my card expire for a bit because, I work at a dispensary. So I was able to go to our rec shop and still get employee pricing. So I didn't really smoke a lot of concentrates. I still don't. I didn't do a lot of concentrates. I wasn't eating a lot of edibles then either, so I didn't see a reason to get my card again. But yeah, then I started having like sleeping issues and stuff like that. I started having like, I was talking about it earlier. It's like I'm having sleeping issues because I ingest too much fucking caffeine. So edibles really helped with that. And with Colorado Rec edibles, you can only get 100 milligrams max per product at recreational spots. So, oh my God, I'm going to have to cut that out. That's disgusting. Yuck. I might seriously consider cutting that out. Like, I'm sorry about that. But Colorado Rec edibles are only allowed 100 milligrams maximum per product. But it's still like essentially like $25 to $35 per edible there. But on the medical side of things, you can get a 1,000 mil edible product for the same price that you can get a tenth of the dosage in the rec side. So yeah, I think it was in March this year or some. Yeah, it was in March. I finally just bit the bullet and I got my med card again. So your boy's been rolling in the edibles, which is super nice because I fucking love edibles, man. I've been taking a bunch of them. I think I might start focusing on that too. I should start including that in the podcast more, like just product reviews and things like that, because I love these things. I just like even if it's like an older product and stuff. I just like giving my take on it. Isn't that like the whole point of like content building or content creating and like review series and even those like commentator channels on YouTube? It's just about like giving your take on the situation. It's not necessarily about being like the first to do it. I think that's also an issue a lot of people run into when it comes to content creating is we all want to be original. You know, you want to have like I don't want to say a gimmick, but a gimmick or a shtick. You want something that's gonna like attract people to you or their attention to you. But I also think that it comes just with the passion too, man. You know, like as long as you just do what you like, do things you enjoy, and you just put the passion into it, just let it come naturally to you, then people will see that. People will recognize that. And it's insane. I feel like that's how a lot of people can start building followings too. I got to follow that own rule myself because I'll be honest, I do get a little in my own head with things. I get a little hard on myself sometimes, just like we all do because I am only human. But yeah, just remember that. We do things, we create things because we're passionate about it, because we want to do it, because we care about it. And if we continuously do things that we're proud of or just enjoy doing, you don't even necessarily have to like the final product. As long as you just enjoyed the process, then people will see that. And I honestly, I used to use that metaphor a lot a couple years ago. It's just kind of wild. I always called it like, because here, let me back up a bit. See, I guess this is high octane. It doesn't say how much caffeine's in here, but it's a good enough amount to make me trip over my words. But yeah, a couple years ago, I used to use an analogy with Chadwick Boseman because I fucking loved the Black Panther movie. If I'm being honest, like Black Panther was such a good movie to me simply because it gave us a brand new world in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know, like a lot of the previous movies were set in like New York and just a lot of places that were common to, I feel like, the East Coast in the United States. And Black Panther was just a cool ass movie because we got to see Wakanda. Not only did it take us to a new continent, but it took us to this fictional world that we've only been able to see in the comics and stuff like that. It was really cool to see Wakanda brought to life like that. And when I first saw that movie, I fucking loved it. I was in love with it, man. Like the soundtrack, the CGI, like Chadwick Boseman, what's her name? The actress who played Okoye, Shuri. I forget the actors' names, but I loved it. I was totally here for it. And when that movie came out, I thought to myself, like, man, like Chadwick Boseman was really like, I feel like really lucky to get that role. Not, and you know, he's talented. It wasn't luck that got him there, but I just thought he was very lucky to get that role. And then it made me think about it even more in more perspective, just like, man, I don't even think when he became an actor initially that he thought a role like that would be possible for him. And I think that says a lot about all of our creative journeys. You know, that goes back to as long as you put in the time, as long as you are passionate about the things that you like doing, as long as you do what you love with heart, then people are going to see that passion and you're going to unlock that Black Panther role for yourself. And yeah, I've always loved that metaphor. And it really bummed me out when Chadwick Boseman passed away because, again, I truly did look up to him for that role. I thought it was so cool that he landed the Black Panther role. He brought T'Challa to life in such an amazing way. It was a great movie, and it's really sad that he's gone. But even until the very end, man, he portrayed him, or he was a strong person. He was very strong, and I keep saying but but yeah. Great metaphor. If you just do things you're passionate about, people will see that, and you'll land that Black Panther role for yourself, metaphorically. But yeah, so it looks like I'm at about the 25 and a half minute mark for the podcast. And if I'm being real, I'm already kind of feeling this Keef soda. It's kind of weird. It's like a weird feeling. I feel like my brain is moving quick because of the caffeine, but the weed in it is like affecting my body. So I'm kind of like tripping over my words. I feel like I'm talking with a mouthful of peanut butter right now. But hey, we got to do what we got to do, you know? Oh, also, I plan on doing, oh, excuse me, goodness. Of course, when I don't have my pop filter on the microphone is when I have to aggressively emphasize on my P's. But I plan on doing a lot of Twitch streaming here in the future. I've done it maybe like literally like a handful of times before, years and years ago when I was unemployed and I needed something to do or else I was literally going to go insane. But I enjoyed it. I didn't do it a lot. I only had like 2 or 3 people watching my streams, and usually it was my cousin and my best friend. So shout out to them for supporting me from the start. But yeah, I think it would be a really good idea to start Twitch streaming again. I'm not the best, I'll be honest. We're just in this journey together. We're just having fun with it, you know. I don't play a lot of like FPS shooters. I definitely got to start doing that more though, cause like I've been a gamer since I was a little kid, and yeah, man, got to open my horizons to all the genres and stuff like that. But I used to play a lot of WoW. Like I've played WoW on and off since like 2004. Sorry, I just made myself laugh the way I said that. Like I said that with like such pride. I'm like, yeah, so I've been playing World of Warcraft on and off since Vanilla WoW, so I'm a veteran. But yeah, unfortunately, I've been playing WoW since I was like 10 fucking years old. Oh my god, that's like 17 years now, dude. That's weird when you put it in perspective. But I was thinking stuff like that too. MMOs, I've been playing. I like survival games, shit like that. You know, maybe some rafts. Play some Slime Rancher. We have a Slime Rancher sequel coming out. And you know, there's another game that's really been taking up way too much of my time recently, and it's early development, so they're not completely finished with the game just yet. But I just beat all of the current content for it. It's Power Wash Simulator. As much as I honestly hate to admit that I love this game, I'm fucking obsessed with it. Like it is, this game is like virtual crack, dude. It is too much. Like I hate, like let's put this into perspective. I hate cleaning in real life. If I'm being honest, a lot of the times I will delay cleaning as I will procrastinate as much as possible before I have to clean something just because I don't like cleaning. And I don't I don't like, you know, don't get me wrong, like I will still clean. Like my place isn't a mess. It's not a pigsty. Like we don't have shit on the floor and stuff like that. I'll still like do my part, but I smoke weed and I get lazy, man, if I'm being honest. But this game, Power Wash Simulator, it's just that. They give you a dirty, like the level will be like clean this dirty van, and you just have to clean the van to 100%. And that's it. But you get a bunch of different nozzles. You could earn money and unlock like more powerful washers and things like that. And it's silly. It's silly how good this game is. But if you're curious about it, yeah, check it out online. There's like a bunch of like really big YouTubers that have made some videos on it. I forget his name, but there was some YouTuber that actually made me get the game because of how hilarious his gameplay was of it. And I think that within itself is a talent. Like you're funny and like captivating enough for me to be like, all right, let me see what this fucking game is about. That's a skill right there. But yeah, see, I'm good at rambling. But yeah, back to the Twitch topic. Yeah, I do really want to get back into Twitch streaming. If you're listening still to this point and you have any ideas of things you would like to see on a Twitch channel, then just let me know down in the comments, man. You know, I've got a handful of ideas of games that I would like to play for the channel, but not trying to limit myself or anything like that. So I'm excited. I'd really like to start focusing a lot on content creating too. I feel like the reason I initially started this podcast was because I just wanted to create something. I've been an artist in some sense of the word ever since I was a little kid. And for a long time, especially through the COVID lockdown, I really wasn't creating anything. I mean, even looking back at my Instagram account, I think the last time I posted was January of this year. It was like January 2nd was the last time I posted on that. And I used to be consistent. I used to make just like digital drawings, and like I call them digital doodles. I like calling my art doodles because I feel like it just takes a lot of the pressure off of art having to follow certain rules and shit. But I used to post doodles like constantly on Instagram, and then I just stopped. I moved up here. I got a different job. I wasn't in front of a computer every day for work, so I just made excuses as to why I didn't, have to do these stickers anymore, these doodles. Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, I miss it. I miss creating stuff. It's in my blood. I feel like it's in a lot of people's blood. It's in everybody's blood. Creativity, I feel like, is one of the beautiful things about just being an animal. I was going to say human, but I feel like to a degree you see No, yeah, you do. Not to a degree. You do see creativity in the animal kingdom as well. Whether it's hunting or camouflage or homes, we see it in so many different aspects. And it's important for us to actually exercise that. We need to work our creativity muscles because we start to feel stagnant, and we're not meant to be stagnant. I feel like energy-wise, humans aren't meant to be. But yeah, man, that might be a topic for a later podcast. We're topping out right now at about 32 minutes for this episode, so I think this might be a good place for me to call it for the day. As always, I appreciate you guys listening in to the podcast. I hope you've been having a great week. I know earlier I was talking about how things have been a little hard for me for the past month. It's nothing too serious, just feeling tired and stuff. But if there are any of you out there that feel like you're just tired, or even worse, just know that there's always people out there to reach out to. There's tools, resources online, and stuff like that. And I'll catch you guys next week for episode 5 of the podcast. I might actually try to put like a prompt or like a script together for that one because I had like a subject. I had like a topic I wanted to talk about for this podcast, but I figured I wasn't really fully here mentally, so we're just going to play this one by ear. We're just going to talk today. Just going to take it easy, have a little bit of chit-chat about weed and stuff like that. But yeah, next episode, I think it'd be really cool to talk about like hominids and shit like that. I love animals, and I find so many different animals like just fascinating in some degree or form, just fascinating. And especially hominids, like us, not just humans like Homo sapiens, but our species, the hominids. And yeah, I was going to explain a little bit more, but it's like, nope, that's what next week's podcast is for. So yeah, make sure you guys tune in next week. Again, this is River with the Right from the River podcast. I love y'all. Catch you next week. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.